This video is about how I built this record stand. I picked a live edge slab that has plenty of character in it for looks, but has a built-in cubby for my vinyls, room for the record player, speakers, and even a Now Playin' album display. Let me show you how I built it. First off, it's about the piece of wood. I first thought to do this from dimensional lumber, but love the idea of a live edge, so instead I went to the woodshed and pilfered through my slabs until I found the perfect one. As you can see, I've already poured the epoxy to fill in the cracks. I went ahead and tinted it black because I just wanted to kind of blend in and fade. Now, I'm gonna do a straight cut here, and then I also need to make the back a straight cut. To do that, I pulled my track saw and started with the back cut, propping the slab up on scraps to avoid cutting into my workbench. And here, I'm just eyeballing the placement of the track to try and remove as little material as I can because I need the depth to house my player. Keep in mind that depending on your setup and slab, you might not need a straight back cut. You could leave both edges as live edge. Once I figure out where I want the edge to start, I can use my back straight line as a reference to get a 90-degree cut for this end. Then, before making the cut, I went ahead and projected out the lines for the rest of my record player just to make sure I liked it as well. If you want a three-dimensional drawing, then I do have that on my website. It looks good, so let's make the cut. There is definitely an order to PPE here. First it's the safety glasses, then respirator, then hearing protection. Remember, I have a discount code for Stealth Mask and ISO tunes if you're needing some. Okay, now let's draw out the lines to cut the center cubby that will house the records. Since the front is live edge, I used the back as my reference here and drew out my left and right lines according to my measurements. Then used a sliding feature of my table saw to make the cut. Keep in mind that I kept this cubby kinda small. It'll house about 50 records, but you can make it however long you want to house more or fewer. After making the cut, I moved the slab back to my workbench to make the back cut. And I actually could have done all of these cuts with my track saw, but my blade was dull and I didn't want to stop and go to the store. So for the back cut, I grabbed my circular saw and did a plunge cut. And this Triton saw has a laser guide on it, which makes it really easy to get straight. I was really careful not to overcut my lines here, so to finish the cut, I brought out one more tool. It only took 4 cutting tools to get this far, but I used a jigsaw to nip off the corners to make perfect 90s. Alright, next let's start cleaning up the slab. I propped up my slab in my super jaws, then started cleaning up that live edge. A wire wheel and a grinder is actually the best tool for doing this, but an ROS also works great. You can't tell from this angle too much, but I had a few chipped out areas that were pretty rough. So for these, I took my jigsaw and cleaned up the lines. That's a great thing about working with an organic line. If it feels good to your hands and looks good to your eye, then you're done. For the epoxy, I grabbed my 4-inch belt sander, which I normally have clamped to my workbench upside down. I love having a 4-inch belt for jobs like this. It not only covers a lot of ground quickly, but it's very easy to keep flat while you're working. I focused on the epoxy until it was flat and smooth, and then I actually sanded the entire top down to 150. Let me pause and thank this video's sponsor, which is HelloFresh. I'm personally a subscriber to their service already, so I'm excited to be working with them. It is food that shows up to your door. Perfect service for me. You take it out of the box, you throw it in the fridge, and it's ready to be cooked. But don't worry, HelloFresh is the first carbon neutral meal kit company where nearly all packaging is recyclable. Inside each weekly box is step-by-step recipes that are super easy to follow, and the pre-portioned ingredients help me cut out prep time so that I can spend more time in my shop. It is so easy to adjust your plan and increase or decrease how many meals you want per week. I find that if I get 3, then I can eat on it for 6 days, but this is 72% cheaper than dining out. And let me tell you right now, the food is spectacular. I have always been impressed with the variety and flavor. Throw on top the couldn't get easier convenience of it showing up to your doorstep, and it's pretty much a no-brainer for me. Go to HelloFresh.com, use the code April16 to get 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. All right, now let's flip this thing over and build out a cubby to house the records. With me just sanding the top, I did a makeshift effort to get my workbench clean before flopping it down with the bottom side facing up. So the idea is to take 2 pieces of wood and give me the depth of a record and put them on either side of the cubby like this. Then to take another board to span the distance and be the bottom of this cubby. Now this bottom I am leaving long on either side to house the speakers. Now I am sure tons of people have already left me a comment telling me I shouldn't place the speakers so low and they shouldn't be this close together. But I have thought about all of this before I built it and I am fine with it. Now, if you go with a square top, then you can leave this shelf square. But since I went with a live edge, this shelf is protruding where the top edge flowed back. So I took the piece I cut from the slab and I set this on top of the shelf and traced it. This will allow me to closely replicate the same flow down to the lower shelf. I cut this over at the bandsaw before I started joining things together. For joining, I wanted a connection method that wouldn't show, which pretty much means my choices were biscuits or dominoes. Jacob from the woodshed was on vacation, so I borrowed his domino for this. Is it considered borrowing if you don't ask permission? I put it back before he knew it was gone. Either way, I used it to punch into the walls as well as the underside of the slab. But then I stuck them in place. I'm using wood glue to attach these 2 components, so after getting them seated all the way, I place them in clamps to dry for about an hour. Nice! It's starting to look like something. Now I skip the wood glue when attaching the shelf, because in the future I plan to build separate standalone speaker holders. And I bet all the audiophiles are going wild. Thank goodness! With that plan in mind, I skipped the glue so that I'll be able to remove the shelf in the future, cut down the ears, and make it flush. But in the meantime, this will house my speakers without cluttering up the top. Alright, and we were on the tail end, folks. I bought some prefab metal legs from Amazon and screwed them in place. I attached them so that I could accurately mark where they overhung the slab and then cut them off. Which is simple enough. My super jaws held on to them while I used a grinder to cut the flat bar portion. How's it look? I don't know if I like that. It will look better with everything on it. Thankfully, I do like it better with things on it. I put a coat of finish on it, moved it into my house, and placed all my things on it, which is a pretty cool moment. I love thinking about what I want, how it should look, and then a few days later, having it and using it. It is so rewarding. I even built a custom album holder so that when I drop on a vinyl, I can display what is currently playing. By the way, I have these stands for sale on my website if you'd like to pick one up and support what I do. Alright, and that is it for this one. I hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my website. Did a leaf just fall on me? Don't forget to check out my website if you want a three-dimensional drawing or to pick up a record display stand. I'll see you on whatever I'm building next, guys.